Hey everyone, today I wanted to go over my Foggy Colosseum teams. I currently am ranked number 2 and I have an upcoming battle for the first slot. And these are the teams that I have been running or have at least ran. So the first team is Avenger Phantoms, a mix of 2 epic, 2 legendary runes to be usable in my opinion, but if you need a synergy filler, she will do the job. You can also run even Dahlia or Elmer or Tiamat or Ying Zhang. So it depends on what you have currently, but as I have the Primordial Argdina, there's absolutely no reason to not run her. The reason why there's Cleopatra is because I do want the 2 Celestials, otherwise I would run Hela. But the issue is if I do that, there's no slot for Celestials unless I remove Janna, which I don't really like doing in the shield Foggy because her shields from runes are absolutely insane. So the logic behind this team is that both Avengers and Phantoms really do just simply die, and you have Magatama to amplify their deaths and actually make use of them by dealing insane damages. I have Lance for double ultimates of my teammates and Tyr for the increased shield because this Foggy increases the shields of all allies that they will receive. Cleopatra also serves as a damage booster, so Magatama also deals higher damage as the turns go by whenever she applies her pledge. Then we have Narisa in position 3 as the main carry and Primordial Argdina as a supportive carry in the position 5. Janna as a tank and Althea in position 2 as a safe place, so the instant revivals, even though it's at 6 and locked, it doesn't really wear off, and I have ensured my Phantoms or Avengers don't really die in the first round without any revivals. The artifact that I'm running is the Holy Shields one, because the Avengers one is already used in other team, but otherwise you could also use the increased attack of all Avengers instead of this one. But yeah, that's really about it. So we have CC from Janna, we have Immortality from Arcdina, so also same for Althea, but she also has CC, insane damage from Narisa, and a boost and survival increase from Cleopatra. This team is overall fairly balanced. You have seasonal synergy that increases the dodge, which also benefits the Avengers, and 3 Deviants, 2 Celestials, pretty much a perfect composition. It can obviously lose, any team can lose, everything is beatable with enough RNG or enough retries or even with stronger team. So there's no such thing as the best team in Omniheroes in my opinion, everything is pretty much beatable with slight adjustments done. The hope tree that I'm running is the same hope tree that I have mentioned, but now with position 5 actually working, unlike when I made the video. I'm running position 5 this side, but if you're struggling with damage in PvE, the position 5 left side is far better. These upgrades are not really relevant in position 4, but yeah. Holy Shield, the increased dodge, the increased accuracies. That's why my highest hitting hero is in position 3, because you do want to increase the accuracy of this hero, so they have the most reliable hits. So you will see that all of my main DPS heroes are now in position 3, unlike in previous season where they were in position 5. So next up we have the Doom Monarchs slash Strikers. This team isn't really all that performing, it's just really strong to weaken the enemy team or even perhaps win. You have Audrey to steal the Holy Shields and be the main carry in this team, although you can argue Ayushla is slightly better, or even Hela. Hela here is to increase the damage, provide stuns, seal the enemy, and everything she does. She's just one of the most exceptional heroes in the game by far for both PvP and PvE. Doris with her legendary runes to trigger the double reflect on the enemy team, Behemoth for the stun and for the damage, as well as for the taunt. So overall a really strong team, both 2 Deviants, 2 Celestials, 3 Monarchs and Sourceborn for the seasonal synergy to increase the defense or rather increase the survival of this team. And yeah, overall a pretty balanced team made around survival and reflect damage, but can also work as a team that deals damage themselves, not to rely on the reflect totally. It's pretty flexible in my opinion. You can replace a lot of heroes in here and you can make anything you want. You can replace Doris for Ashrid for the combo with Behemoth. It adds 4th Monarch, it adds overall more damage to the team, and you gain the Everhunts, which increase the leech rate of all allies, which isn't really bad considering you have Audrey. So overall this team is pretty flexible, you can play around it as any way you like, you can even use Pandora in this team. So yeah, it's, as I said, pretty flexible team and you don't have to worry about positioning. It can lose, obviously, as I said, any team can lose. So yeah, you're just trying to take down as many enemies in Foggy as you can. The artifact that I'm running is the Doom's increased damage, obviously, because most of my teams are Dooms. And then the relics, we have the Maul for the relic damage, which gets amplified by the Judgment Blades. And on top of that, Tempest Hammer alone does insane damage. So overall, this relic combo is pretty deadly and can deal a lot of damage. It has stun from the mouse, stun from the hammer, and then execute from the blade. So overall, pretty strong relic combo. And yeah, that's really about it for this team. Pretty flexible, as I mentioned, can run it in any sort of way you want. The fifth team, I didn't really run this team up until now. I ran the 6 Mystifiers team, or rather 5 Mystifiers, but 6 in the synergy. But now I decided they didn't really perform well, so I decided to make protectors. I have Ascended, Bastard, and Gaia as the 3 Mystifiers and 2 protectors. Ascended Bastard will provide insane survival for this team because AoE skills get turned to single target skills, so this will help a lot, and protectors really do need survival, so I hope this combo will work. I have speed advantage because of the Gaia, which is really insane when it comes to Hades, so he will Phantom Illusion before they get to move. And then we have Wukong and Odin to snowball their damage. We use the relic that basically stuns enemies and then gets combo of my gourd going, and then Cauldron for the immortality, so I have even more sustain, so my heroes can scale up from protectors and have more chances to repost the attacks back and basically kill enemies this way. Overall, this team is solid, but I haven't had much experience in Foggy with it. I only played with the World Arena with it, and it was alright, but nothing really unbeatable. So overall, a strong combo. I do run the Stun Feather, so I have even more odds to pretty much snowball the fight. Although Stun Feather with Gaia isn't really all that needed, it's a bit overkill, but just to ensure I can do something about that. You can also run Bahamut with a 1+ Glorian if you're going for Hela, so you have 3 Glorians in team for the CC immunity, but the Cauldron already provides CC immunity because it pretty much negates all the damage, which means your heroes can't get CC'd. The fourth team and the team that was performing the best so far is the 5 Monarchs. The deadly combo is Aphrodite Isis with Victoria. Victoria with legendary runes provides the bind. We have the increase in damage from Yorm as well as increase in survival, and she's a really key part of this because Aphrodite ults a lot and the Yorm increases the damage of those ults. That's why Aphrodite is also in position 3. As I said, the hero that will do most damage will always want to be in position 3. Isis, occasionally if Victoria dies, can bring her back and then reapply her bind and Leviathan because she's just here to counter enemy Leviathan and feel the synergy, as well as impact the battle if the RNG is strong enough, especially when it comes to enemy having Phantom Illusion. The relics that I'm running is the old good combo such as Chest into Banner into Gleipnir, which doesn't really matter, but Chest into Banner means I will be getting insane amounts of Holy Shield, so 10 stacks of Holy Shield procced like twice because of the cooldown relic, so about 40 stacks of Holy Shields in the first round will be pretty possible. We have the relic that increases the Avengers attack because this team is basically all around Afro and Isis dealing damage. Isis can tank a lot. Her exclusive runes are absolutely insane, especially if it's a mix of 2 epic, 2 legendary, or even 4 legendary, which in my opinion is a bit overkill, but she often does live up to 15 rounds, so it really isn't an overkill in a way. Issue is nobody will be alive to proc them at that point, so 2 epic, 2 legendary completely enough. Aphrodite is the main carry and everything else is support around her. Gleipnir is here so all of my allies can ult first round, which is pretty nice, but not really game changing. And the fifth team is the 7 Ethereals. In my opinion, 7 Ethereals are one of the strongest teams right now in the game. Obviously beatable, but they don't really require a lot of investment. You can just X your Amaterasu and have a 9-star Arcane Darbella, which is the best unit in the game almost right now. So absolutely worth summoning on her because she truly just shines both in PvP and PvE, one of the greatest heroes we got so far. Karnak here because of the legendary runes for the bind allows enemies to be binded so my heroes can snowball better. The issue is Victoria shouldn't be a protector in this. Victoria should be a monarch. So we have 3 Monarchs for the survivals, 4 Celestials, and unfortunately no 2 Deviants, but 1 Deviant is enough to increase the leech rate, which is all we need. Holy Shields are nice, but not really needed. Amaterasu is here as a tank and somebody that can scale off and time out the battle. Elisha obviously for the freeze, survival, and the damage. And then Victoria because she's my ex-hero, so I want to have 7 Ethereals in the play. And yeah, that's really about it. This team is very simple, very cheap. Well, not maybe cheap for the beginners, but for the late game players it's pretty cheap because you already have the 2 core heroes. This can be even Lilith or anyone really, or even Eudora to be honest. So the artifact that I'm running is obviously the increased attack of Ethereals, and the Relics that I run is the relic combo that I mentioned. So to remove any kind of debuffs or CC, I'm running this, and then to increase the sustain of my team, I'm running the Call of the Urgency. So yeah, overall a really strong relic combo, really strong team, and the gate at 5 stars provides 50% damage reduction, which actually does work. And overall this team is made to sustain and to not die early, because late game it will just beat any team because of the way that Arcane Arabella scales off. And yeah, those are the 5 teams that I'm currently running, and I think the strongest one is the Ethereals and the 4th team. The teams before that are pretty beatable, but Avengers Phantoms should not be overlooked because they have been the king of PvP for the past few seasons already. It's just that 7 synergies now are starting to get insane stats for the sustain, so the Phantoms Avengers can't really match it right now, but they're still strong nonetheless. And yeah, that's it. See you in the next one.